tell us what your position here at Lake Area Tech is and what you do?
Okay. I am the Director of Institutional Relations, and it's my position here is responsible for marketing, public relations, and all the admissions and recruitment. We all wear a lot of hats, so my other hat is I also assisted with the hiring process and then also orientation with all new staff when they start here.
So how long has Lake Area Tech been using social media?
Okay. You know, in regards to the hiring process, you know, social media has been around quite a while now. We're using it for lots of things, you know, especially very heavy on the recruitment side of students and so on. But in regards to the hiring process, it's probably fairly new. And we don't, probably with all positions, we do not announce that we have positions available through social media, other than just with some of the specific ones where we know that we're going to reach a certain audience. And so I'd say just the last couple of years that part of it has really picked up.
Okay. Do you have a social media policy in your workplace?
You know, we don't. I shouldn't say we don't have anything. What we do have is a code of conduct, and it's actually written through the entire school district. So it's a policy that the school district has actually put together. The code of conduct covers a lot of things, and it doesn't specifically mention social media. But what it does mention is best practices, how you should present yourself in the public. And it talks a lot about, you know, if you're going to put your business out there or your picture out there or whatever it might be, to use it in a professional manner.
Okay. Does your organization track employee use of social media services at all, or do they block any of these services?
Okay. We track it? No, not not through any methods. I would say it's probably random. I think we do watch. You know, a lot of us have friended each other on Facebook, and that's probably the biggest one where we can kind of slip up in regards to making some mistakes. So we do track each other that way, but it's only because we happen to be friends of friends of friends, you know, and so when we monitor it that way, there are times where we'll see something that's posted that some staff member did post that we think is probably inappropriate, and we do call them on it and ask them if they feel that was professional, if they felt that that is how they want to be portrayed. You know, would you want your students to see this? You know, how do you feel if parents would happen to see something that you're posting? And typically, when you put it that way, they realize that it's not in a professional manner.
Okay. So do you block any sites or anything like that from staff or other people being able to use?
You know, internally, what the students are blocked from using, the staff are blocked from using as well. Yes.
Does your organization provide any social media training to employees involved in the hiring or sales process, or should employers have social media guidelines for their staff?
Okay. You know, we do provide a pretty extensive orientation with all new employees. And so when the new employees go through the orientation process, we talk a lot about social responsibility and the social media responsibility, and we want staff to use it. We really do, because it's just another means of communication, and honestly we're finding that's about the only way we can even communicate anymore with students. And so we do want them to use it. But we also teach them, you know, the ins and outs, the rights and the wrongs. And honestly, some staff have never even, I mean, they're older, have not had any exposure to any of the social media. And so with that staff, we actually have many workshops and training sessions and so on that we work with them and encourage them to get involved in that part of it. So.
Well, very good. Thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you.
Well, hi Brad. I'm here with the Human Resource Management class, and we did a chapter on social responsibility, or social media training, and we wanted to ask you some questions. First, can I start with what your position here at the school is?
Well, I'm currently teaching a few courses, and I also work in the curriculum office, so I help develop some curriculum for the programs. I help rewrite curriculums for programs and do evaluating of teachers.
Okay. Does your organization provide any social media training to employees involved in the hiring or sales process?
Well, we don't have, I would say, the sales process, we use it for marketing, to get other students to recruit, that kind of thing, and Facebook, we use that. We also use Facebook for our Student Services Center. We have a new director of that, and so he uses it for social life on campus and just educate the kids on what's going on. We also then don't really do a lot of training for it, but we do some like workshops and stuff.
Are there any guidelines set for the staff on what they can and cannot do with social media?
There aren't guidelines necessarily. If there were guidelines, I think what we would do is write in there that they need to be used for educational purposes, for YouTube or teacher tube, using them for snippets of lesson they're teaching or something like that. Otherwise, it's open and that wouldn't be a good thing.
So what criteria do you believe should be included in any social media policy that the school can have?
There again, I think I would probably try to put in some kind of criteria that they have to be used for education, for the lesson, or whatever purpose that they're trying to serve, as far as what concept they're trying to teach, and make sure it's related to that, and not just for social life or whatever.
Well, thank you very much, Brad.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Nikki Yackley Franken, and I am the librarian at Lake Erie Technical Institute.
Okay. And how long has LATI Library been using social media?
We have been using social media to promote our services for about 2 years. We have a Facebook page for the library, we have a Twitter account, and we have a blog. And we use those tools mainly to promote our services, our events, our resources, and things like that for our current students and staff.
Okay. And does your organization provide any social media training to employees involved in the hiring or sales process?
At Lake Erie, we have had training on how to set up Facebook accounts for the different departments, so the departments can use those as a recruiting tool and things like that. So we know how to set up the accounts. We've also had some training on what to do and what not to do on Facebook to protect ourselves and the integrity of our institution.
Okay.
I'm Mike Carney, Vice President, Lake Erie Technical Institute, and all the hiring process goes through me here at Lake Erie Tech. So now I may delegate some of that down. For example, custodians, I usually have the facilities manager, but the advertising for the position and the hiring and disciplinary action would come through.
Okay. Now, at LATI, are there any groups or individuals currently involved in social media activities on behalf of the organization to reach future students or potential employees?
Yes, I mean, we use, if you get on Facebook here, you're going to be on the Lake Erie Tech Network. We've been the host for Facebook for about, I think we started back about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And we're also on Twitter. We advertise all of our positions for hiring are advertised on both our websites. Some of them we tweet if we think it's something that appeals to that group, and we do recruiting all the time to the max extent that the guys can do what we call e-recruiting. We also take applications over the same media for students, potential students to come in.
Okay. Now, does your organization provide any social media training to employees involved in the hiring or sales process?
We do, because there's 2 aspects of it. One is how to use the social media to contact students, which is a little bit of your last question. But we also talk to them about the fact that anything that's out in the media, whether it's social media or the newspaper or just voicing your opinion downtown, that all of that falls under the our code of ethics, and that we do not expect any employee to take actions or publicly do things that will degrade the overall image or reputation of Lake Erie Tech. So it wouldn't matter if somebody posted it on Facebook or wrote a nasty story in the local newspaper. I mean, we don't view social media differently. It's still out in the public, and we expect our employees to present a good public image whenever they're being associated with Lake Erie Tech.
Okay, sounds good.